The person of interest into Kelsey Ferrigon killing shot and killed by the police. Hi again and welcome.
Welcome to Links 007 TV News Report, providing you with the best in local and international news updates. This is a place where you can get the most reliable and informative news information. Links 007 TV News Report.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV News Report. Giovanni Ellis, the 39-year-old man identified as the prime person of interest in the brutal murder and rape of a 9-year-old girl, Kelsey Ferrigon, was shot and killed in a confrontation with police a short while ago. Reports are that a police team from St. Catherine tracked Ellis to Clarendon, where the confrontation occurred, resulted in him being fatally shot. Information as it relates to the confrontation remains sketchy, but it has been reported that a firearm was seized following the incident, but this has not yet been confirmed by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Ellis, also known as Coolie Man, had been the subject of an island-wide manhunt since Kelsey's partially nude body was discovered in a horrific state around 8 p.m. on Friday evening at her home in Joblin, St. Catherine. The child was found upside down in a barrel, a discovery that has sent shockwave and grief through the entire nation. Yesterday, the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Right Honorable Mr. Andrew Honis, paid a visit to the family.
It's difficult for me to come here to see you on Mother's Day to recount this. It is more than tragic, and it should never have happened. I have gotten a briefing from the security forces. I can tell you that they have taken it to heart as well. And they are going to do everything in their powers. This can't bring her back. It probably won't give you any comfort either. But justice must be done to whoever who did this, and a clear message must be sent to these kinds of perpetrators who believe that they can commit these crimes and they'll get away with it and they won't be found. And I can only imagine how you feel right now. Know that these words that I'm saying will be shallow comfort, because there's nothing that can replace your daughter.
A lot more needs to be done though. A lot more needs to be done. Like if it wasn't my child, it would have been
Somebody else's.
Why was this one on the road?
Yes.
It brought to my attention that he had done this 5 years ago or wherever. I know he shouldn't have been on the road.
He should not have been on the road. To have them unleashed on the society without giving the people in community fair warning, regardless of their privacy and their entitlement to due process. But you as a citizen also have your right to life to protect. And I think that needs to be really looked at, so that the balance changes from those who are seeking to protect the criminals versus protecting the victims. And I'm always on the side of protecting the victims. There is still much more reforms to be done. And as you have said to me, you think that the registry should be made public. I agree with you. And I am going to go back and raise this issue with the Minister of Justice and see how we can have the laws reformed, because this should never have happened based on the circumstances. Of course, I await a full investigation. The perpetrator will be found. He will be brought to justice, one way or the other. We will give you all the support that you need. I used to run around these areas many, many years ago. I know these areas quite well, and I have many friends who are from the area. I haven't been hearing about this area in any bad way for a long time. So I know that this is one of the communities that is uplifting themselves, being positive. And then for this to happen, to come and reflect badly on the entire community, you don't have to tell me that none of you here support that. And all of you are distressed as I am. And I also know that all of you are giving your support to the family who suffered this very tragic loss. The Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the area pointed out to me that you have all been very supportive and cooperative with the police because you are all of the view that whoever committed this act must be brought to justice. But ACP Phillips also privately commended you that no one has sought to take matters into your own hands. And I pointed out to him that this is the new Jamaica that you see emerging, where the citizens have confidence that the police will be able to find the perpetrator. The citizens have confidence that the police will bring the perpetrator to justice. And therefore, the people will play their role in cooperating, in providing information, in highlighting the problem, in speaking out against the problem, and in ensuring that this does not happen again. Once that strong relationship starts to emerge between the citizens and the police, we will have a safer Jamaica and a safer community. This incident must be considered a turning point. The person who is alleged to have committed the crime, we don't know, we are speaking purely now on allegation, is someone who is a repeat offender, someone who is out on bail. And as the mother of the child who perished pointed out, that she had no idea that this man was a repeat offender and was actually out on bail. So that speaks to certain issues that we have to take a second look at in our criminal justice system. We have recently reformed the Bail Act, and we do have in place a sex offenders registry. But I think this incident requires that we take a second look on how we make this sex offenders registry available to the public so that the public can be armed with information to protect themselves. Yes, there are constitutional issues that we have to balance, but where we are in the society, I have said it before and I will say it again, that our laws need to favor the protection of life and the protection of the victim rather than trying to protect the criminals. It is time that the society draws a clear line that we must eliminate the criminals from our society. They mean you no good. They mean you no good. And I know that there is an ambivalence, but we are drawing the line now that those who are involved in criminal activities, we can't support them anymore. Because it could have been your child. Innocent. Has nothing to do with anything. So, in as much as the society is emerging now with confidence in the police, the society must also resolve itself and be unambiguous in being against criminals. So I want to thank the community for supporting the police. I urge you to continue to speak out against this. This cannot be a reflection of the community. And if anyone knows anything, if you have any information, please share it. The Minister of National Security has announced a reward of $2 million. Please tell us what you know and claim the reward. God bless you and thank you.
Mr. Honis then met with members of the police high command who provided an update in relation to the case.
How are you? Good to see you again. How are you? Tell me, what has happened here? I mean, it's a really sad situation.
It is, sir, and we regret that you have to, come at such an occasion. Friday night, the child was at home. The child was left in the care of a friend of the mother. Sometime after 8, it was reported that the brother found the sister in a barrel, upside down, in a state that I don't want to recount. Sir, so far the investigation is very advanced. In fact, it's one of the fastest case review we've had, because immediately after that Saturday, we started our case review and the investigation is at an advanced stage. One thing is significant so far is the level of support that we're getting from the community. And in that tasking, one of the taskings that was given was for even the officers who were on location to be counseled. And so we are now seeking a person of interest, Giovanni Ellis, goes by the name Cooley, also Cooleyman. He is basically it's a family setting. He was released about 10 days before that on a charge of cruelty to a child. And so he was supposed to be reporting on condition of bail. Saturday he was supposed to report, he has not shown. So you are aware we have put out that information. We invite him to come in quickly and to be interviewed by the Criminal Investigation Branch of the St. Catherine North Division. So that's it in terms of update on the investigation. And I must, commend the kind of calm that I've seen with the citizens, the support, the involvement. We know it's a heart-wrenching one. It has impacted even the officers. Tomorrow, we're looking to even go to the school and to provide further support, because the child was a student at St. John's Primary School. So.
A couple of weeks ago, a 14-year-old was killed in my own constituency, and then now this. In this case, the suspected perpetrator would be a repeat offender.
Yes, sir.
Who was in the criminal justice system before.
Yes, sir.
Was given bail.
Right.
And went back and we suspect committed this crime. We cannot allow these kinds of criminal actions to stand.
Right, sir.
And the quicker our investigative capabilities bring these people to account, the greater will be the deterrent effect. But how are things generally in this division?
Generally, we're seeing reduction in murders, shootings. We're at a 26% reduction in murders and 18% reduction in shootings. However, we are being challenged by property crimes, and we recognize that trend. We are working on that. It's the same trend across all 4 divisions within Area 5, and it is something that we have discussed and we are working on that, sir. So much so that yesterday we had the launch of 4 neighborhood watch programs in the St. Catherine South Division. That was historic, sir. We had the launch of the neighborhood watch for Helsha Glades, Sandhill Vista, Sandhills Bay, and also Upper Fort A. And what was interesting is the community support that we are seeing, the kind of involvement by our citizens. We are seeing new levels of participation and involvement, which is very encouraging. So rest assured, within Area 5, there is a highly motivated team of officers. And the morale is up. The officers in St. Catherine North, they are deeply disturbed by what happened. And I guarantee you, sir, we're going to get some results pretty soon.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Links 007 TV will have a more comprehensive report to come on this in a later newscast. Thanks for watching.